Nation, how you doing? Come on in. I'm Dolph Jackson of the Come On In Sports Network, and I'd like to welcome you to as the NFL turns, baby. Oh, if you think Dolph had the energy all season, you ain't seen nothing yet, baby. It is Championship Sunday, baby. We're about to see who gonna be headed to the Big Easy, baby. Will it be Patrick Mahomes and the defending champion Kansas City Chiefs? Will Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills, baby, will they get rid of some demons, baby, and vanquish the hated Chiefs? And in the NFC, oh, we got a heavy favorite in those Eagles, baby. We got a heavy favorite in those Eagles. But guess what? There's a young kid on the other side who quite simply is just special. He is special. So the Eagles better be well. But before we get started, I'm not the only host of this show. Gentlemen, please introduce yourself to the family, baby.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Carlos Clayton. I'm the host of Uneducated Sports Talk, but also here with the Come On In Sports Network. What's happening with it?
And what's good, everybody? You already know Zach, Real Fan Sports. How everybody doing? Welcome, everybody. This morning, get ready for a great day of football. Oh, man, I'm hyped. Uh-oh.
Look what he got on, too, baby.
He got
the shirt the man got on, baby. Yes, sir. Go ahead and get ready. Throw your headset on, baby. Get ready to fresh barber shop.
Oh, shit.
Take on. Oh, man.
Let's roll, baby.
Ready.
Let's roll.
Let's get it going.
Man,
all right.
You introduce yourself to the family, baby.
The referee is here, baby. Let's play ball.
The legend is in the house, baby. Coach Rock, introduce yourself to everybody who might not know who you are, my bro.
I'm Coach Rock. I'm just the old guy on the set that just have fun with these young guys, man. These my brothers. I love them. I'm just here to talk football. That's all.
That's it, man.
Yes, sir.
Amen.
Yes, sir.
Now, the Come On In Sports Network, baby. I told you we're growing, baby. We got our own website, but also we got our senior editor. That's right. He's the only writer over there, so he's the senior editor. But God damn it, he's family. And today he is making his debut on As the NFL Turns with his brothers. Ladies and gentlemen, please, let's welcome our brother, Lawrence. How you doing?
Yes, sir.
Pleasure to be there. Coach, I'm sorry the Chiefs are going to go down today, but nice to meet you, my man.
Guess what, Lawrence?
I love it already.
I got help on the way, and I'm going to show you later the help that's going to help us get there.
You got the ref outfit in the background then. All right.
You see, baby, we are here, and y'all might be looking and saying, hey, Dolph, there are two people missing. Nine's going to be here, but there's one person in particular that we all are waiting for. He's up there in upstate New York, baby. He's circling that wagon with that mafia, baby. He is nervous as hell right now. And he said, "Dolph, my man, you better not do it. You better not do it, though. I'm not done. I ain't gonna do it yet.
Not yet.
But listen, not yet. Yeah, we just started, baby. But listen, welcome everybody. Thank y'all for being here, man. Gentlemen, quick. Championship Sunday, man. What is it to you? Championship Sunday, man.
Oh, it's simple, man. It's where dreams come to die for a lot of these teams, man. A lot of heartbreak for fans, for players, especially in today's game. I mean, we're talking about, three teams that are dying to get there, right? Bills haven't been since the pre-2000. They've been in this position before against this exact same team, and they haven't been able to get over that hump. The Commanders, who apparently their old owner, Dan Snyder, is not happy. He's very upset that his Commanders are doing so good now that he's gone and that he can't celebrate with them. And we know a hungry young man, Jayden Daniels, ready to make it. The Eagles trying to get back, get their revenge after their loss when Jalen Hurts balled out against the Chiefs couple years back. This is some of the most exciting football. I would say it's honestly better than what the Super Bowl is. The excitement that you get from making it to the big game is amazing.
We're talking legacy here. I mean, we don't remember the ones that went to the NFC or AFC Championship and lost. We remember the ones that went to the Super Bowl. We speak about those. So we're talking about whoever gets there will have their name either etched in gold or etched in the sky that no one can ever see. As saying that we talk about, we say 28-3, Patriots and Falcons, we still talk about the Falcons losing that. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it means, a legacy. Now, there can only be one winner, but at least you got there. So now we can speak. There's only been, 59 Super Bowls. That means there's only been 59 times two, whatever that is, 118 participants per se. So, and that's rare league. And to have your name mentioned in that, whether we win or loss, is huge. But you got to get through this point first to even have a chance at the Lombardi.
Yes, sir.
And to go off of that, it's to talk about legacy. Hurts has already been to the Super Bowl. Obviously, Patty has been there countless times. For someone like Josh Allen, it's a needed boost to get him back, because the only thing that people have on him is he hasn't got that big game. He hasn't beat Mahomes. Burrow's made it, right? He conquered Mahomes in the playoffs. So for Josh, I think it's the biggest game for him this weekend because he has the most to lose if he loses again.
I see him.
He's circling the wagon, baby.
Coach, we're already in a
Jeremy,
fight. You and I are already fighting. I have
Jeremy, I told you, Jeremy. I told you.
Man.
Oh, Coach, we got you in the middle, baby.
I see him. I've been waiting on this, baby.
You surrounded on the left and right,
Waiting
baby.
for it. I'm waiting on the mouth for you, baby.
Jeremy, how you doing today, my brother?
I'm doing well. Got my new coffee mug.
Yeah.
Yeah, we like that.
Buffalo yesterday,
Right.
so I'm ready for the
Yes,
game.
sir.
Coach is obviously ready for the game, so he can wipe his tears later tonight on it.
Ooh.
He turned that jersey about to turn into a rag. It's about to be a handkerchief.
Yes, sir. I'm loving it, man. So, Jeremy, same question to you, my brother. What is championship weekend to you, my brother?
I mean, this is it. I mean, you got, it depends on where you're looking. We're looking at the NFC. You got Jaden Daniels, right? The possibly greatest rookie quarterback we've ever seen, probably ever at this point, depending on what happens this weekend. I think if he makes it to the Super Bowl, I think he ends up in that conversation. If he wins the Super Bowl by chance, I think 100%. You can't
He
discredit
owns the
that.
conversation.
He
owns the conversation.
Hands down.
Definitely. I mean, the kid's electric. Like, we all knew he was going to be good, but man, you look at him and it's like, you got to wonder if you're the Bears. Like, did we make a terrible mistake in this move and taking Caleb?
They've been
Williams?
asking that since Trubisky. Yeah, even prior to that. Poor Bears.
You mean our backup quarterback? That was their first round pick? I mean, for the Bills, like, what else is there to say? I mean, I'm sure Lawrence already talked a lot about it, but Josh Allen, right? Like, this is the fourth time. Like, it's gotta happen. He's got to get past that mountain, that hill. That's Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. And I feel good. I always feel good anyway. So I'm obviously an eternal optimist, but I mean, there's just something different this year, right? He doesn't have everybody around him. He doesn't have the drama of Diggs. It's a team that is built on each other. They have that great culture. You know, I love to talk about culture. And this is his time to shine, right? Like, he's in the MVP conversation. He beat Lamar. Like, now he's got to go beat Patrick. Like, he needs to own it. And I feel good about it. I'm excited. It's for a 6:30 game. It's going to make for a long week this week, but that's all right. It'll be worth it because I feel good. We're gonna make it happen. This is it.
All right. But before we get to the day's game, baby, we gonna take a look back at last week's action. Last week, well, to get here, the Chiefs pretty much did what the Chiefs do. Find a way to get the job done as they defeat the Houston Texans 23-12. Pretty much was not a surprise that the Chiefs prevailed in this game. Gentlemen, what was your thoughts on this game? And we're going to be brief because we're going to get down to why we came here. We're going to talk business today, baby.
Just business as usual for the Chiefs. It's an ugly game, but they find ways to win. And same old Travis Kelce comes alive in the playoffs. 7 catches, 117 yards and a touchdown. I mean, they've been there, they've done that. It's not the prettiest of games for the last couple of years, but they make it work. And when you have arguably the best quarterback of all time back there, you're never in panic mode. And even when Houston almost tied the game up in that first possession of the second half, they missed the extra point. But no panic in Kansas City at all, and there's never been panic in Kansas City, man. So, I mean, business as usual. Heading on to the 7th straight AFC Championship game, and it's like, no big deal. So, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'm right there with Carlos, man. It's just taking care of business. Chiefs do it. They do it so well. They know how to turn up in big games. That's what they do. Doesn't matter. They have the best thing. The best thing you could be as a football team, and that's win big games, and that's what they do, man. And they do it at the highest of ability.
And before we get into somebody else, just saying, the number 1 seed is super important. Not only do you get the only bye for your conference, but your second round, you're probably playing a team like Houston instead of a team like Baltimore. So that's why that number 1 seed is huge for both AFC and NFC squads, man, in these particular last couple of years with the new alignment now. So, yeah. Huge play for Texas instead of the Ravens.
Yes, sir.
And the Chiefs never beat themselves. They let the other team beat them. Like, obviously, people always joke about the rest. It's not the rest's fault that the Chiefs keep winning. The Chiefs are smart situationally. They had the best head coach, arguably, in NFL history, and the best play caller with the most versatile and quarterback in probably NFL history, in Patrick Mahomes. So they know what to do. Their big players step up when it matters. Chris Jones had a quiet regular season. He stepped up. So their star players play their best when it's most important, and they don't beat themselves.
Now, Lawrence, you just made a statement. You believe that Andy Reid is the greatest head coach of all times?
Yeah, when you look what he did with the Eagles and now he's doing with the Chiefs, he was doing stuff before Patrick Mahomes got there, right? He was winning with Alex Smith. He was winning with McNabb. He was winning with Foles and Michael Vick. So, like, he has won wherever he's went. And he just needed, just like Belichick needed Brady, he finally got that quarterback, and look what's happened. Pretty much nobody can stop them.
Oh.
I mean, look at Belichick pre-Brady as a head coach and after Brady as a head coach. You see that where Reid kind of evolves with the times,
Right. All right.
That's true, too.
Well, Jack, Lawrence jumping right in, man. I knew you was going to fit right in because you throwing controversy already, man. I like it.
I like the hot takes, man.
Yeah, he fits right in, man. He fits right in. All right. Yeah, we got family in the chat. We want to say hello and thank everyone for joining us this morning. Everybody in the chat. We got Young Hurricane Mike is in the chat. How you doing? Come on in.
What up?
We got Burb. The Burb's the word. Burb, how you doing? Come on in. Burb is in here. I almost said Versace, but we got
What's up, my boy Sharma?
We got Sharma in the house. Sharma, how you doing? Come on in. All right. So I'm speaking to brother Zach. Zach,
AP, what up, AP? How we doing, man?
Just
What's
AP.
up?
I got you. That's what I was saying because I couldn't. What up, AP? Come on. Come on.
I'm right there with you, dog. I know.
Sporty boy, how you doing? What's up? Come on in. Rise and Rhino says, what's up, crew? Rise and Rhino, how you doing, baby? Grit on the gridiron say Commanders versus the Chief. The rookie takes out the best. We got 2 on the panel. I ain't feeling that, baby. I ain't feeling that. Grit on the gridiron.
Look, here's what I'm gonna say. As long as it's not the Chiefs, I mean, I want it to be the Bills so badly, but as long as it's not the Chiefs, just can't.
You know you're in a bad spot when you're praying on another team's downfall and not your uprise. But I feel it. But I feel
you, bro. I can't hear it from Coach. I'll never live this down for how many months till the next season. So
my God. He gonna talk all season to training camp.
I know. Bro. It's gonna be brutal.
He's not gonna let it down. All right. And then the game that kind of shocked the world. But it ain't shocked though. Because I called the upset, baby. I told you. And I'm going to give you an old boxing terminology. Styles make fight, baby. Styles make fights. And that style of the Commanders, that was the style of play that the Detroit Lions did not want to see and did not need to see. And you see what happened to them, baby. The Lions got taken down. Listen, I wanted the Lions because I knew how it is to go through years and years and decades and decades and decades. Look like we're back on that verge of decades of being horrible and downtrodden. But you just couldn't get it done. Hey, the window only stays open so long. Will the Lions be the same offense next year? Ben Johnson is gone. Eric Glenn is gone. And it's something on here we always say, coaching does matter. Coaching does matter. Right. So who replaces those two coordinators who are now head coaches? And if you look at Ben Johnson actually goes in the same division. He goes to the Bears. So this guy's Lawrence, I'm gonna start with you. Looking at the final score of this game and the entirety of this contest, what was your thoughts and were you surprised that the Commanders were able to prevail in this game?
No, if the Washington was going to win, you knew it had to be a shootout because Detroit's going to put up points. And if you look at the entire weekend as a whole, if you turn the ball over, you lost. And right. Detroit turned the ball over 5 times and still only lost by 14. So Detroit, you feel bad for them. Their defense are just decimated by injuries throughout the year, right? And you think, what could they have done with a healthy? But that's football. You next man up, right?
Right.
And you saw when the Bills I watch the Bills every time. Detroit struggled with that mobile Josh Allen, right? And then Jaden Daniels, probably even faster than Josh. You saw the same struggles with his versatility. So you kind of probably you predicted, Dolph. You saw the writing on the wall if you looked deep enough, and it was there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Jeremy?
I mean, look, you got Jaden Daniels, who's special, right? We keep talking about that kid, and I can't get enough of watching him. Honestly, I hope they win today. I love watching this kid play. He's unbelievably talented athletically, and he just sees the field so differently than a quarterback at his age. And you look at the way he makes that team better, right? Austin Eckler now all of a sudden has a revived spot a couple weeks later into the season, right? Kind of fell off the radar once he went to Washington. You got Brown, who all of a sudden's come out of nowhere and looks like a superstar all of a sudden. And the other thing is, honestly, for the Lions, and I'm not trying to say they didn't play a good game, but we've talked about how many times this season. Injuries, right? Injuries are a killer. You go into this time of the year, the one thing you want more than anything is your team to be healthy. When you've got, 15, 18 guys on the IR, and most of your defense is out and you're just plugging holes the best you can, it's going to catch up with you, right? And they just ran into a buzzsaw of a team that can keep up pace with them and keep scoring. And it came back to bite them. I mean, you can't put a price tag on health this time of the year because you start putting in those second, third stringers and it will catch up to you because everybody that's at this point in time is there for a reason because they're good. So mistakes, you got to keep them as small as possible. You got to be healthy.
Gotcha. Zach?
Yeah, I mean, after talking about this game a bunch with fellow Lions fans over on our Discord, it was the craziest thing. We had a lot of blame to everywhere, right? And people were trying to pick certain things that, one thing that they did wrong. And the synopsis is that this was just a total blunder by the Lions. It started off, we had Anzalone made a couple of good tackles. Then that faded away. The offensive coaching was, in my point of view, wasn't very great. I mean, you had Jahmyr Gibbs, who was going on a tear. He was averaging around 8-9 yards per carry, and then they left the run game alone. And it really didn't make much sense. Defense never made adjustments to when Jaden Daniels came out. I don't think they expected Jaden to throw the ball like he was doing. I think they're expecting more on the run game because Jaden Daniels, I think he's only averaging under 200 yards per game this season. He went up and threw just under 300. So I think they were not prepared. They came in thinking it was a win, and Commanders were like, no. We're a 12-5 team, guys. We win football. We win football. All right, you got to respect us, and they made them respect them that day.
Yeah, can't be reading the press clippings. Can't be listening to ESPN and everybody patting you on the back saying, "Oh, how you destined? You got to go out there and you got to earn it, man." Yeah. Carlos, What up, nephew?
Say what up, y'all? Being spoiled right now. Say, hey, we were saying about wild card weekend. I think the Lions were the biggest Buccaneers fans, right? Because they said, like, the worst case scenario was them taking on the Commanders because they have no quote unquote liability at the offensive side, where the Rams and the Vikings, you know, they had some liabilities in the offense. We've seen that up and down all season long. So they're like, well, once they hit uprights, right, and went in, Zane Gonzalez, whatever his name is for the Commanders, they said, okay, we got to get ready. The one thing that's going to separate a win from a loss, and like my man Lawrence said, turnovers. Turnovers. Like, without a turnovers, the Lions probably win this game by a touchdown or something like that, but that's neither here nor there. What we're saying is Jaden Daniels and that Washington team, they are under control on offense, right? They don't beat themselves up. They take care of the football, and that's going to win you games. That's how you've gotten this far to the NFC Championship game now. As far as the Lions go, very unfortunate, but like we all said, that defense was just going to get, you know, it's going to show its ugly head sooner rather than later, unless they didn't take on the Commanders. But I think every other team, the Lions had a fair shot. I'm not going to lie. Even the Chiefs, the Bills, the Eagles, they had a fair shot. But with the Commanders, they've been hot at the right time with the right player. And this kid is just wise beyond his years. Jaden Daniels is. And, yeah, they just ran into a buzzsaw. And that's just how the NFL is sometimes. And they punch, and they kept punching. And then you got nervous, tensed up, and you start, you know, having your receiver throw interceptions. You know, so that's what happens.
Oh, God, I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're a tense team and you realize the opponent is going to score just as much as you, and now you can't make the mistake. And thinking like that, they did it 5 times.
Right. And when you think about the Commanders, you look at this team, they have 2 leaders on the field that know exactly what it takes to get to the big game. Bobby Wagner and Zach Ertz. Both have been to the mountaintop. They know what it takes. And so I'm telling you, I believe they have a real chance today. I don't think it's going to be like many just want to crown the Eagles NFC champions. I'm telling you, don't be surprised if the Commanders actually pull this game out. Coach, what was your thoughts on it, my brother?
Oh, man, it's just 3 hours of football. It's getting your team, your coaching staff to execute what they have to execute and just playing your football, man. You throw the records out the window, and whatever team could execute those 3 hours, that's how we go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, family, let's move on. And then this game, I'm going to tell you this. First of all, not in here yet, but I saw that short you made. It's cool. I can admit it. Let me start off by saying Dog was wrong. I said Saquon wouldn't run for 2. Well, I was right there. He didn't run for 250, but he did run for 205. So I was wrong. I say he wouldn't get 150. I say he wouldn't have 100 yards. I was wrong on all that. That being said,
You were on that oatmeal.
if it wasn't for no, they escaped. You said they won't. They escaped. They escaped that game. First of all,
I agree.
To the right guard in the center for the LA Rams. Their ass should be cut, put on the street, because Jalen Carter used the same damn move, back-to-back plays on them.
Jeez.
And they could not stop them. That's horrible. I'm going to tell you what, they were nervous as hell. When Puka Nacua caught that damn pass, I'm telling you right now, everybody in that stadium, they was on pins and needles. They was biting their nails. They was throwing up Hail Marys. Some of them ain't even, most of them ain't religious. So they were just, I'm praying to somebody. Somebody got to answer this prayer. And, damn it, the prayer got answered.
He said,
by
somebody got to answer.
Somebody got to answer, man.
Somebody got to answer this prayer.
So a divine being or something say, Jalen Carter, go save the day for her, baby. And that's what happened, baby. But listen, congratulations to the Eagles for making it what they were, man. And like you said, I think the turning point in this game, gentlemen, was after the safety, Rams get the ball, and then Kyron Williams fumbles the ball to me, that changed the entire, because the momentum was squarely on the side of the Rams. You're only down one. You got the momentum. Calvin Williams, he ran for over 100 yards on that defense. So it's not like, they didn't have a running game. So today, that's why I'm telling you, I think that I like the way Robinson runs. You got Austin Eckler in the passing game. So I think I'm going. I ain't gonna pick the game yet, but y'all got an idea where I'm going. But Lawrence, what was your thoughts on watching this game?
Well, you just talked about Kyren. That right there is the big thing. Go back to turnovers again. They had momentum, they had the chance, and then Kyren's kind of had that now on him. He puts the ball on the ground. He's done it a few times throughout the year when it matters. He did it again. But even with all that, the Rams had the ball, like you said, with that Puka catch. Rams fans are probably envisioning that NFC Championship game. Yes. Jalen Carter, in the playoffs, your stars got to make plays, and Jalen Carter stepped up when he had to down at the end and ended that Rams drive and their hope for getting to the NFC Championship. But the Rams have such a bright future. That defensive line this year, they invested in it after Aaron Donald left, and it is paying off and is going to pay off in the future. They're going to be quite the team to deal with moving forward.
Jeremy?
I mean, look, plain and simply, I think the better team won. I mean, I don't love the Eagles particularly. I'm a big Donovan fan, being from Syracuse originally, but the Rams, I mean, they were playing on a lot of emotion. Kyren Williams, you got to give him the ball, right? Like, he's got to be your playmaker, right? He's your main guy on the ground, and you got to give it to him and let him run with it and see what happens. And it's unfortunate for him that he's going to have the rest of the offseason to think about that, because that was definitely the turning point of the game. It'll be interesting to see what the Rams look like next year. Cooper Kupp, see what happens with him. He kind of faded away the second half of the year, so might be a little bit different looking Rams, but in Stafford, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen with with him next year as far as things go. So it'll be interesting to see where this team goes. But I mean, the Eagles, I would have liked to see the Rams and the Commanders play, but Eagles aren't going to have an easy matchup today either. And Jalen Hurts is hurting. So Hurts is hurting. So it's going to be, it's still going to be a tough move for the Eagles today. I don't see them moving too far from Saquon if I'm the Eagles, or if I'm just getting rid of the ball, I'm going to go to basically every single time. That's all I'm doing today. I'm keeping it super simple for that team.
Gotcha. Zach.
Look, when I was watching this game, the first thing I said, I don't care if the Eagles win, man. Sirianni's got to go with something, man. I hate calling out coaches, but some of the play call in that game was just so questionable to me. It went just like how I thought it would. When it was dry, I thought it was going to be very competitive. Once it got a little snowy, I thought that the Rams were no longer able to keep up. We saw so many drop balls by Puka Nacua. Now, of course, he did have a phenomenal one down the sideline right near the end there, where they almost were able to go ahead and tie things up and possibly take the lead. And so it overall was a good game. But if I'm Philadelphia, I'm not happy with this win at all. I don't think you went out there and took this win in your home field. I felt like it was on the fence for the majority of the game. I felt like you had every advantage possible, and you did not abuse that advantage like you should have, right? And those are some things I think need to be looked at. And they're going to be tested today when they go against the Commanders. So we shall see.
We shall see. Carlos.
Hey, the Eagles are the best team in the NFC, in my opinion. I hate the fact they don't act like it. I agree with that. Play calling, man, if you just went by just bona fide, who to get the ball to, which is Saquon Barkley, and simplify your offense, right? We know that something's wrong with Jalen Hurts, and they're acting like nothing's wrong with him via play calling. He's throwing the ball deep. He's throwing the ball like how about we just give it to Goddard 7, 8, 9 times, right? When they did, things worked out. When they did not, they struggled unless they gave it to Saquon. Here's my thing. They are so good and don't even act like it. And this game was close for no damn reason. Yeah. When Saquon had that long touchdown that kind of iced the game, it's almost like they win the chokehold. It's almost like the Rams said, once we started going no huddle, you can't stop us. And I bet they wish they would have did it earlier in the game. because you saw how that defense was getting worn out. Now, I did say my straight balling play of the week was Jalen Carter, and he came out to play, especially in the crunch time.
Needed.
So he needed that. They all did. But it's as simple as get the ball to Saquon left, give it some right, give it some middle. That final drive to ice the game in Philadelphia, first down, Saquon gets it, 3 yards. Okay. Second down, you think, give it back to Saquon again. Nope. They do a bootleg to the left side, and Jalen Hurts is not his get off is one of the worst. As a fast quarterback, his get off is horrible. Once he gets going, he's very fast, but his get off is slow. So I don't know what they were trying to surprise someone, like the whole entire world knew was going to Saquon, which should have been, but there are some smart NFL players on the defensive side as well. Shout out to, I think it was Turner. One of those guys did not bite at all, and it was a loss of like 15 yards by Hurts, and that was the reason why you had to punt the football. That is just asinine play calling. Saquon's been eating his Rams not only one game, but 2 games this year, and he had just finished with another 40-something yard touchdown. He needs 10 yards, 3 carries. I believe he could have got it or gotten close to it, and 4th and 1 is the tush special. So I don't get why they just act like Hurts and Lamar Jackson in the second too, but those play callers trying to fit the schema, we want our quarterback to win it for us. It's just mind-boggling when you got Saquon Barkley right there. Shout out to the Rams, though, made it a close game, and which I thought they wouldn't have, but they did. And, when you have a veteran quarterback as Matt Stafford, you're always in every game until the final whistle. But, yeah, the Eagles won this, and they barely won, but they are the better team, and they're advancing. So we'll see about today's matchup.
Coach?
They covered everything, Dolph. Ain't no more to say about that. They've covered it.
All right. Well, once again, I got to start with Coach on this one. Well, a couple weeks ago, Coach said, Dolph, I don't want to hear nothing about regular season, MVPs, or none of that. When it comes to Lamar Jackson, it's all about what you do in the playoff. Coach, did he drop the ball this time, or was it coaching?
I think just the turnovers he had in the game cost him. We know that the tight end dropped it that could tie the score, but we can't have turnovers, bro, from your leader, not in them kind of crucial games, bro. And I don't know what more Baltimore could ask for to give it to Lamar. I think some of it was coaching. I mean, when you got a back like Derrick Henry, you don't keep feeding him and feeding him. Like you feed him till you can't feed him no more. So, I mean, it was a little coaching. But also, man, you just can't have the turnovers in crucial moments of the game, which Lamar had. And move forward, I don't know what more you can give to Baltimore to say, hey, what gets you over the edge? I mean, they've got everything that was needed. And they still just can't get over that hump. And I told you, man, I love Lamar, but I just don't think he's ever going to get him to a Super Bowl.
What is he missing?
That's the question.
Is it within him, or is it the organization, the pieces surrounding him?
Well, I think some of it last week was just the play calling. Like, you just got to keep feeding Henry, man. When you got a back like Derrick Henry, man, you just feed the beast, bro. You just keep feeding. But then the turnover was also hurt in those big type of games. You can't have those turnovers, though. You just can't have them, bro.
Right.
So I don't know where they go from here. I mean, you just go to all season, you crank it back up next year, and just keep pressing forward.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Carlos.
I'll tell you who to blame for. John Harbaugh 1A, and then we got Todd Monken 1B. Like Coach said, when you had that Ferrari, the reason why you got that Ferrari in your backfield, it wasn't for the regular season. Hell, it wasn't for the wild card game. It was for the divisional round, conference championship, and a potential Super Bowl. That's 3 games you needed Derrick Henry for. You, with or without Derrick Henry, going to the playoffs, probably win the division anyways. You got Derrick Henry for this moment only. John Harbaugh and Todd Monken said, you know what? I hate the fact that they want to keep throwing Lamar Jackson down everyone's throat like he's not this great quarterback, and we want to prove to you guys he's this great quarterback. We know he's a great quarterback. He's won 2 MVPs
Two.
and probably going to win his 3rd one this year. He's a great quarterback. Now
Fact.
it's about winning in the playoffs and winning a Super Bowl. And you got Derrick Henry for that reason only, was to go and participate and have a chance at winning the Lombardi Trophy. And they said once again, it's almost like Pete Carroll and the Seahawks at the 1-yard line. Who do you want to win MVP? Russell Wilson or Marshawn Lynch? This touchdown probably says it. Well, I want to go with the quarterback. No, go with the obvious one, which is Marshawn Lynch from the 1-yard line.
Yes.
That's how that game was in a nutshell. We want to showcase Lamar Jackson so bad that he can put up great numbers in the playoffs and get a W. I'm sorry. No one cares about stats. Like when the Ravens won it, back when Trent Dilfer was the quarterback, no one said, my God, look at those awful numbers. They said, no, Trent Dilfer's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. That is it. That's all we said. We didn't care about the numbers. We didn't care how non-factor he was. It was all defense. It was all running game, whatever. He was still a winner. All the Ravens have to do now is just let Lamar win by not putting it in his hands. Not saying he's not a good quarterback, because he is one. But when you have Derrick Henry, ain't no way in hell, dog. You run the ball 26 times against the Pittsburgh Steelers. You run the ball 10 times and still won that game by 2 touchdowns. But no, you run the ball 16 times against a Bills team that I can see if he got 40 yards out of that or 50. The man had 84 yards and 16 carries. Think about that, 5.3 yards per carry and only had 60 times. Justice Hill, the backup small running back, had 7 carries. That doesn't make any sense to me at all. And Lamar is a reason why they lost too. You could throw a little tiny shade at Mark Andrews, whatever. The biggest one was John Harbaugh and the OC. They went with a game plan yet again, saying we want to showcase Lamar Jackson, and it came back to backfire them and bite them in the ass, and that's why they're watching the couches like we are.
And speaking of Mark Andrews, man, Mark Andrews still one of the better tight ends in the National Football League, but he had a rough day.
It's tough, man. What, 3 drop passes? I think it was 3. He had 3. Was it 3? Oh, no, I'm sorry. Was it 3 drop passes for the night?
It was 2 drop passes.
2
and a fumble.
2 drop passes and a fumble. Yeah.
It was a tough day for him. Go ahead, Zach.
Yeah, I mean, I was just gonna continue on with what Carlos was saying. I mean, thing is, you look at that game and everyone's going to look to blame is Mark Andrews, which it is tough that, how things panned out with that. But you're spot on, Carlos. There were some mistakes being made. I mean, we talked about it when they got back into the second half. They got that 3 and out right away. And we're like, okay, this is the time, right? I think they did end up going score on that drive, but we were like, we want to see Derrick Henry get at least 2 rushes every 5 plays. That's what we wanted, right? At least 2 rushes every 5 plays. So we're like, we need to see him carry the ball at least like 6 times on this drive here. He didn't see the field 4 times. It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable that they're basically just bitching him. And Derrick Henry just on the side, just he's like, why am I here? Why am I here? Like, damn, if I wanted to watch the playoffs from home, I would have stayed with the damn Titans. I came here to go win a Super Bowl. That was like the most frustrating part about it. But I mean, the thing is, let's also forget about the bad. Let's talk about the good and what the Bills did, man. I mean, Josh Allen had a quiet statistical day, but he ran that game. His presence was felt, even though he went 16-22, 127 yards, 1 sack, no passing touchdowns. You got 2 rushing of them, but he dominated that game in ways that doesn't show up on the stat sheet. And I think that's what has made Josh Allen so much better this year than in prior years, where he was trying to pad up those stats, trying to force the ball downfield, trying to get 300-yard games and all this stuff. He's found other ways to win. He doesn't always have to do that. He can go ahead and have a boring quarterback day, but look dominant at the same time, which is great.
It's a different Bills team now, because in past years, that's a loss. That's a loss.
Yeah.
This team's a little different now. They play together a lot more, and so when you see those stats, it comes in a win now. That's and 0 turnovers too. So, I mean, you're gonna win 0 turnovers in the playoffs.
Yeah. Jeremy, my brother.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not sad for the Ravens, right? Obviously, but I agree with you, Carlos, 100%. Like they completely missed the opportunity to take that game. I mean, you just give that ball to Derrick Henry every single time. That's what the Eagles need to do today. Just run the damn ball, right? Like you run that ball, you have that bell cow back, you use them till it doesn't work, right? And if you're not feeding them 20 times a game, 23, 24 times a game, then you're missing the opportunity. And it cost them, right? Like I'm happy for Josh Allen. He did have a wicked quiet day. But if you look at what he did too, no mistakes, has 2 rushing touchdowns, right? I think he rushed for 20 yards on 10 runs, right? But he got the 2 touchdowns. Also, threw to 8 different receivers. There was 8 different receivers that had a reception. Like he is managing the game in a way that we haven't seen out of him before, where it was, you know what, Diggs, Gabe Davis, go 80 yards. I'm just going to air it out. And either you're going to catch it or we're going to have an interception. They're going to have it on their 10-yard line. Like now you're watching Josh Allen really grow to being that field general that we've always kind of hoped we would see that evolution to, because he's got the athletic talent. We all know that. He can throw for 100 yards down the field if he wants to. But it's making the smart decisions, not taking the sacks, right? Knowing when to break out of the pocket, looking for those other receivers. And that's something we haven't seen. And I think a lot of that also has to do, and we've talked about this with Diggs. He doesn't have that true number one. Yeah, he's got Shakir, but on most teams, Shakir's going to be a number 2 or 3 guy, right? So, like, now you're seeing him evolve into really working the rest of the team. And honestly, the other thing, good job on the running backs. You know, Cook, Johnson, and Davis, they all had a decent day. And when, you know, Cook was struggling, they brought in Davis or Johnson, and everybody did their part. I mean, it was a team win. And for Mark Andrews, I love OU. I'm sorry, my friend. Doesn't always work out the way you want, but Bills Mafia, I think at this point, donated over $100,000 to his charity. So, you know, trying to make sure we take care of him, because I know that's tough when you got to come home to hearing some of the stuff he's been hearing from their fans, and that's unfortunate. Part of the game that there's fans like that act that way, but I still love Mark Andrews regardless, even though he plays for the Ravens. So go Bills.
All right. Lawrence.
Yeah, everyone's pretty much touched on the things, but you look back, there's some stuff that isn't on the stat sheet that lost the Ravens the game too. They had that big pass down to Bateman to the 2-yard line. They only got a field goal out of that. They're on the 2-yard line. They ran Henry once and tried to pass twice. Lamar got sacked and they kick a field goal. You're at the 2-yard line. You have Lamar Jackson. You have Derrick Henry. One of those two is going to score. You give him 4 times to run the ball against the Bills defense.
Facts.
So it goes back to the coaching. That's not on the stat sheet. Everyone looks back at the Andrews drop, the Andrews fumble. That right there to me was the game. That's a 4-point swing in the favor. And then the 2 2-point conversions were 2 passes. You don't run the ball. If you look at the box score, not a single running back other than Mark Andrews, who did the quarterback sneaks, averaged less than 5.3 yards a carry. Wow. But Derrick Henry only had 16 carries. The game was never out of hand. Teams think, I get down by more than 7, I got a pat. Like, no. It's what happened last year in the AFC Championship game when they decided they weren't going to run the ball and put the ball in Lamar Jackson's hands. They're trying to prove something. And when Carlos compared it to that goal line play of the New England Seattle Super Bowl, that was spot on about a coach trying to prove something instead of just doing what's best for the team to win that particular game. And let's not give the Bills credit too. Andrews fumbled, but that was forced by Bernard Peanut Punch, which the star players and he's our one captain on defense. He made an important play. The first drive of the game, the Bills played zone coverage, and Lamar just drove it down the field on him. They made the adjustment and played more man defense than they have the entire season after that, and it was a harder go for him. So the Bills coaches, the Bills players stepped up when it mattered most, and John Harbaugh did what he's done in the last few years. They shriveled when it mattered most.
Gotcha. Jeremy, I have already gone to you.
Yep. You got 9.
Oh, he's in the building, baby. He is in the building. What's up, my brother?
Hey, what's up, everybody?
What's up,
now? What's going on,
Mr. Pete Carroll himself.
He is here, baby. So, Nan, what was your thoughts on this contest, my brother?
I'll be honest with you. Coach and Carlos said everything that I felt. It was straight to the point. You didn't use Derrick Henry enough, period. Use Derrick Henry. Sorry, Jeremy. They win. They win that game. 100%.
I mean, you're not wrong. I agree with that 100% of the time. I'm shocked they didn't. It's the same thing with Eagles. If I had Derrick Henry on my team, that would be my playbook. Just give him the ball all the time. End of story.
16 carries is crazy in that game. In that type of game, 16 carries. Justice Hill, why are you even in the game? Why are you here?
Right.
For real.
Take your ass home and let this man run the ball.
Why was he such a big part of the game plan? Is what I'm trying to figure out.
It's the same. It's the same thing last year
Trying to
when
outsmart yourself.
they try to put everything in Lamar Jackson's hands to win the game. For whatever reason, that's not his position. That is not his game to win. Sometimes in those positions, he is not prepared for those moments at this time. Maybe in a year or two from now he will be, but right now it's not him. They should have gave it to Henry and let Henry do his work, and they didn't, and that's why they lost.
Gotcha. All right,
I put on the coaching.
Yeah, it damn sure goes on the coaching. All right. Now, today, family, as you see, once again, we are joined by the newest member of the Come On In Sports Network, our chief editor. That just sounds good saying it. I'm going to say it anyway, damn it. Our chief editor, Lawrence Foster, is in the house, and Lawrence has a segment that we're going to debut. Lawrence, are you prepared? Are you ready?
Oh, yeah, we're ready to roll, Dolph.
All right. Lawrence has a new segment that we're premiering here on As the NFL Turns called 4 and Out with Lawrence. The floor is yours, my brother.
Well, we're not going to talk about the divisional round at all here. We're going to focus, I think, on the coaching carousel that's happened over the past few weeks. Number one on 4 and Out, what are the Cowboys doing? They spent until they waited so long to decide on Mike McCarthy, so then they were behind the 8 ball with all their interviews, with all their staff. Like, the coaches have staffs in place. They're going to Deion Sanders. You know, Jerry Jones loves the headlines, and they settle on Schottenheimer, a guy who didn't even call the plays for them last year, who doesn't move the needle. And all you need to know is that the Cowboys, who just love the spotlight, who love the attention, they released this news about Schottenheimer as their new head coach on a Friday night after 10 o'clock. That's called a news dump, ladies and gentlemen. That means they didn't want to have to deal with the repercussions from the Friday news cycle. They hope to get lost in the shuffle of Friday night. If it was Deion Sanders, that would have been probably announced right before the NFC Championship game today, so they'd have all the headlines heading in.
Yes.
Very true. Very true.
It's very true.
And I think that's because, from what I hear, it wasn't Jerry Jones's idea. It was thrown around by everyone else, his son, to get him. That's not who Jerry wanted. So that's going to be an interesting dichotomy there. In Dallas is Schottenheimer's familiar with it, but can he stand up to Jerry when he needs to? Or is he going to be one of those just yes sirs and essentially going to do whatever Jerry wants to do? So Dallas, they got a B at best coach, and then a B coach is going to get a C staff because assistants aren't going to want to go to some place without a coach they trust. So they're going to have a weaker coaching staff this upcoming year overall just because of that. We move on to the Chicago Bears, who they got the hot up-and-coming coordinator, right? They stole Ben Johnson from the Lions. He's in division. He's familiar with everything that's going on. This is second down here. Ben Johnson is already talking about, hey, we got the division. I know what I'm up against. His big thing, as we talked about, is can he turn Caleb into maybe like what Jaden Daniels is this year? Chicago has a great team around them. They have a solid defense. They have weapons. They have running backs. I mean, they need to get the O-line fixed. That's a very clear need they have. And Ben Johnson was on a team that knew how to get and develop offensive linemen. So the hope there is he can bring some of that to Chicago. But it's all boiled down to Caleb Williams. Can he get him to a level where he's playing smart? He's not playing hero ball. And is he too shell-shocked? We've seen it in the past. With Carr with the Texans, he got drafted. Andrew Luck eventually, RG3, their offensive lines didn't hold up. They took a beating, and their careers aren't what they could have been. So is Caleb already shell-shocked to the point where he has to relearn everything in his first year, essentially a wash? So that is a big hire there. They got the hot and upcoming coordinator. Good for Chicago. So Chicago, right there in a division that already has 3 playoff teams, it's going to be a tough uphill climb, and Ben Johnson is well aware of that. Then you had the silver and black getting more silver, right? They got Carroll to go in there, and
that's a good title.
He's 73 years old.
Be 74 in September.
Yeah. So the thing, but looking at him, nobody would think he's 73 if you ever watch him. Yeah. number one, gum sales are going to go up in the Las Vegas area, right? Las Vegas even posted a picture of a piece of gum on Twitter saying, "Hey, we got him," and everyone knew who it was when they saw the Bubblicious there. Tom Brady is there now. He wants a grown-up at the head coach position. They need somebody who can stabilize that franchise.
Yes.
They don't need a coordinator. They need somebody who's experienced it. And if you look at Carroll's first year in Seattle, they set an NFL record for transactions within a year. This roster is not going to look anything like it does right now. He's going to get rid of anybody that doesn't fit what he wants to do. He's going to bring in people who fit what he wants, and he doesn't care who you are. So you look at his history, he's going to turn things over there, and it needs to be. They've been a complete dumpster fire since I can remember. They had that one playoff run with their interim head coach, and they got rid of him. And then they had the one where Carr got hurt before the playoffs, and he didn't even play in that. So aside from those two aberrations, right, the Raiders are, and that's what they're hoping. Pete Carroll, he wins everywhere he went. He doesn't win huge like New England. He wasn't a failure. Right, he was successful with Drew Bledsoe. They made the playoffs. They were a 10-11 win team. USC, obviously, Seattle. And he has histories with young quarterbacks. He had a young Drew Bledsoe. He had Carson Palmer. Right, he had a young Russell Wilson and developed him. So he knows what to do. And that's an under-the-radar thing. People are going to make fun of his age, going to make fun of a retread. But people made fun of Dan Campbell, too, and then look what he's turned him into. So they may have got the head coach right there.
And going with Pete Carroll, sorry to interrupt. What was that? His first year or second year with Seattle when they got Russell Wilson, and it was between him and was it Matt LaFleur?
They signed Matt Flynn to that huge deal for Green Bay.
Huge contract, right? $60 million, and I don't know if it was guaranteed. 4 years, $60 million, but they still went with the young Russell Wilson. And what head coach would do that besides Pete Carroll? Right, to make that move. He's got the money, but he's got the talent. He's got the money, but he's going to bring us to multiple playoff appearances and all that. So I thought that was awesome for Pete Carroll. And the Raiders, like you said, they need someone like that.
Yeah, and you're 100% right. He doesn't care what your contract is. He's like, what are you going to do for me now?
Right.
So I look at people like Max Crosby, who's already seems to openly be talking about getting out of there. Is he going to be part of your rebuild, like where you want to compete 3 years down the road, or can you trade him and get pieces to build there to a contender that needs to be? So it's going to be a very interesting offseason for them. Then I got to we can't have my four now. This is my fourth down here. The whole shenanigans with Cohen going to the Jaguars, that's like a daytime soap opera right there. He went to interview. He didn't want Balk, so they fired their GM. He went back and signed a contract with the Buccaneers saying, hey, I'm not going to take any more interviews. Went on the secret to go back to the Jaguars, said he was missing things because of his family. So he kind of used his family and kids as an excuse, which as a parent is a no-no, right? You don't use your kids as an excuse for something, right? Nobody does that. I got to go home. I got to leave. So he's already setting himself up as like he must think he's the greatest thing ever for having all these demands and what's going out for him. So he's got a big hill to climb there, and this is gonna be the fourth head coach for Trevor Lawrence. At some point, you got to look at maybe he's the problem, not all the other coaches.
Oh,
what has he done to deserve the contract and accolades that he has? He's blown it. He came back from one lead against a team that showed
shots fired,
and that's the only thing. It is, and everyone loved him coming out. Oh, he's the greatest thing ever. What has he done? Last year they had a huge losing streak to end the year when they blew a huge division lead, and then this past year, right off the bat, just losing to Miami the way they did week one, and the rest of the year was a tank job. It seems like if this doesn't work with Cohen and him, you got to start looking at. It's time to maybe find that other quarterback.
Mac Jones.
There he is. He made Mac Daddy, baby. Mac Daddy.
I can't stand Mac Jones, man.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is four and out.
All right.
Thank you, Lawrence.
Thank you, Lawrence.
Yes,
the
sir.
first initial 4 and out by our brother Lawrence.
Thank you, brother.
We really appreciate it, man. You don't brought a little professionalism to this because I ain't professional. I'm the troublemaker out here. They just, that what Nine say anyway. Nah, I saw what you did too. I saw what you did talking about don't call out the Eagles. I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
That was fun. That was funny, man. That was funny.
Let me go ahead and make this for him.
Yeah, that was funny. I like that. I said, oh, he got me. You know, hey, it's the truth, man. I did say that wasn't my words, man. J-Rock says, I think the Raiders made the right choice. If you look at the coaches in the AFC West, Reed, Peyton, and Harbaugh, you better have a proven head coach, and they got one. Age be damned. No,
Yeah.
you're right. They got a proven head coach.
Yeah.
They got a proven head coach. That is so you're correct about. And J-Rock, thank you for being here, my brother. Appreciate you as always. Now, family, for those of you joining us for the first time, this is As the NFL Turns. This is NFL Championship Sunday preview on the Come On In Sports Network. And if you're not familiar with us, here's a little taste.
The Come On In Sports Network.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to As the NFL Turns. It's Championship Sunday, baby. Let's get it. The reason we're here, we got the first game up. And I got the new, my brothers. I got the new. Lawrence, I ain't start with you. Jeremy, I ain't start with you. Coach, I damn sure it started with you. So who almost is out of Zach and Carlos? Carlos, hold on, Carlos. Where's my sister?
Why is that?
Because you got the black turtleneck on, Carlos. That's why.
Yeah, probably would have. Yeah.
Man, you're looking darn well. What is looking quite devil today, man. You're looking good, brother. You're
Like he
looking
about to go
good.
buy some art.
Yeah, I did, man.
You
Yeah.
gotta go hit the art district, man. Come on.
With that being, there you go. With
Picasso.
that being said, we're gonna start with Carlos. Carlos, Commanders, Eagles. Let's get it. Who you got and why?
I liked how Lawrence spoke about, we talk about legacy, but Lawrence, like every person or every team has some kind of reasoning for being here for their legacy, right? You talk about Jay Daniels looking to be the first ever rookie to start in a Super Bowl. That'll be crazy. And you look at Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley, his dude did this with being in that New York Giants organization for so long, and now he's on a winning franchise, and he's the single reason why, in my opinion, the Eagles are here in the first place, because how good he's been all season long. So Hurts will be his second time to Super Bowl if he gets there. So a lot is up in the air right now. Great story for Washington. Great story for Philadelphia as well. But someone's got to move on. Right now, I'm looking at the conditions. Let's talk about the Commanders. First game against Tampa Bay. That's in beautiful Florida. So a night game, but it was still nice. Weather-wise. Look at Detroit Lions, bad defense, indoors. So you're looking at, no weather at all. We can just run our offense how we want to. I will be watching how will they play against this Eagles defense in those temperatures. That's the difference. How their style differ from the previous weeks. Will they go more heavy running with Daniels and Robinson and maybe Eckler, or will they say, you know what, we don't care where we are against any team, any situation, put the ball in Daniels' hands via passing or running. I want to see how they do with that. Also, for the Eagles, curious to know, hey, we know the simple weapon, the simple way is Saquon, left, right, middle. Will they stick by those principles, or will they pull yet again last week and put the ball in Hurts' hands for unnecessary reasons? That's what I want to see. If the Eagles play it like they should, in my opinion, top to bottom, they're the best team in the NFC. Today, they prove it. because they go with the simple demands of giving the football to Saquon Barkley. This is why you got him here. At least last week, they got the memo. The Ravens did not. Because with or without Barkley, this Eagles team is going to the playoffs regardless. But Barkley gives them that Super Bowl caliber team. I think Barkley gets 25 plus touches again in this game. Saquon left, Saquon right, in the middle. Saquon gets about 170 yards rushing. Give me about a touchdown with that. Give me the Eagles to win this game. But never count that man days out. Like Dolph says, if he's got the football to end that football game, boy, might as well go ahead and pack him at the Cancun. Because a bad boy. But I think the Eagles, if they play it right, and they should, it wouldn't come down to that. Give me Philadelphia to win this game. I'm going to go with a score. I'm going to say 24-23 Eagles.
Ooh. All right.
Zach.
All right. Good game at 2:00, according to Carlos. I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad with you. Look, I want to touch on the conditions too. That's exactly where I was gonna go. We look at the weather. It looks like it's gonna be about 40 degrees outside. Ain't too bad. 2:00 midday, sun's gonna be out. There's a couple clouds, but ain't nothing too crazy. And you know what? Commanders play outside too. They're not afraid of playing outdoors. They know what it feels like to be in that weather and that cold. They're not too far away from Pennsylvania out there in Philadelphia land. This is my thing. Like where I'm gonna go with this game is that when I started off this playoffs, I thought it was gonna be Eagles and Bills. That's who I thought the Super Bowl was gonna be. But I didn't think the Commanders would get here this far. I just didn't think they would. And I'll tell you one thing, I like seeing history be made, and I would love to see history be made today and see the first ever rookie quarterback going to the Super Bowl. I think it would be unbelievable. I think it'd be such a resurgence of this Commanders organization that is, one of the long-term organizations in the NFL to be able to come out and really try to rebuild a dynasty within them with this young core that they have. I love that about them. But if we're getting down to the X's and O's, the one thing the Eagles will not, or they shouldn't do, is I don't think they're gonna get away from the run. Right? They're not gonna be like the Lions where Jahmyr Gibbs tearing them up in the first quarter, and then all of a sudden be like, yeah, we're done running for the day. I think we're all right. I think we're gonna go ahead and chill for a bit and just pass the ball and see what our quarterback can do. If the Eagles do that, they don't. I don't see that happening. So it's the Commanders' jobs early to go ahead and put pressure on Saquon. You can't stop him, but you can at least try to hold him and slow him down. You got to try and slow him down and force the ball into Jalen Hurts' hands to force him to make mistakes. That's the way that the Commanders are going to get on top of this game. They absolutely have to do this. And as far as the offensive strategy for the Commanders, throw the ball. Right? Get Jayden Daniels out there and let him play loose and let him throw the ball, let him go win this game. I love watching him yesterday throwing for, or last weekend throwing for almost 300 yards. He looked dynamic. He looked like how he was with LSU. We haven't really seen that much except for a handful of games in this season where he's just letting the ball loose. I want to see that again. I want him to be dangerous. I want to see Terry McLaurin going up. They have a great dynamic cornerbacks in the Eagles. It's not going to be an easy job with Cooper DeJean, with Slay. It's going to be a tough one. But I'm going to go with the Commanders just off of legacy's sake. I just think it'd be a crazy thing to happen. And I hope, as we joked about the other day, that they wear a Redskins jersey at the Super Bowl. That'd be unreal. But that's what I got. Give me Commanders. I ain't gonna give you a score. Just give me Commanders.
All right, Jeremy.
Ooh, you know what? All right, here's what I'm gonna start with. Eagles. The same, like everyone's already said. Just give it to Barkley, right? If you're not giving it to Barkley, throw it to Goddard. Don't let Hurts screw this game up. He's hurt. His knee's hurt. He's not going to be 100%. Don't try and get cute and do something crazy. Just stick to the game plan. Make it simple, right? Run the ball. If not, get it out quick to your tight end and just let that play out. Commanders, man, if I'm them, I agree with Zach 100%. Give it to Jayden. Let him do his thing. I would, if I'm the Commanders, I'm not probably putting B-Rob on the field a lot. I'm putting Eckler out there, and I'm just going to throw all day. You're not going to get in the secondary for the Eagles is best in the NFL, right? So you're going to have a hard time getting it down the field. You'll get your shots, but if I'm them, I'm using Eckler as my safety valve, and I'm just going to dump it to him time and time again if I don't have a spot to run and just let him take off and just beat him short. I mean, they're going to give you those looks, so take them if you can get them. And I'm with Zach on this. The Eagles should win this game. On paper, if I'm looking at this, the Eagles should win this game. But my heart tells me I want the Commanders because Daniels is just something we've never seen, and it would be something to see the Bills play the Commanders in the Super Bowl. and watch Patrick Mahomes sit at home. I can't help it, Coach. I got to get these in. I don't know how much longer I got.
Hey, I'm on the same boat as the previous two, man. I'm with history right now. I want to watch the Commanders to win this game, period. That's all I'm going to say. Eagles, I think they have what it takes to win no matter what. Saquon Barkley is the man. If they can contain him, they can't stop him. But if they can contain him and slow him down, they have a chance. Because it's not going to be Hurts that's going to beat them. We all know that. It's not going to be Hurts. It's going to be Saquon Barkley. But if they can slow him down some way, somehow, I think Washington has actual opportunity. And I'm going to say that Washington needs to test Deshaun. Test him in the field. Test him out there because you got Terry against him. He's a much shorter defender. Yeah, I'm going with Eric Terry all day. So I'm going Washington. I'm going history, man.
All right, Lawrence.
You know, as a teacher, you do what's called backwards planning, right? You look at your end goal and then you work, how do I get there? So when I'm looking at games, I always look at, all right, if the Eagles are going to win, if the Commanders are going to win, how do they get there? I always look at it from that perspective. So they've already played twice this year, so you go back and look at history. And there's a pretty big difference between the two games they played. In the game that the Commanders won, Jaden Daniels had 9 rushes for 81 yards. All the other rushers had a combined 15 carries for just over 30 yards. In the game that they lost, Jaden Daniels had 7 rushes for 18 yards. So just about the same number of carries and a 70-yard difference. Jaden Daniels' legs are going to have to win this game for the Commanders. But we also can't forget that leg injury we talk about with Jalen Hurts happened the last time very early in that game when the Eagles and Commanders played. He only threw 4 passes in that game. So that was the Kenny Pickett game, if we remember correctly.
Right.
So he got hurt there. He's wearing the brace this week finally for the first time. Is that going to help him get any more mobility back? But it's going to be a running game. Whoever can run the ball best is going to win this game. Everyone wants history. I want the Commanders because I think if the Bills win, it'll be an easier game for us to play them than the Eagles. But I never picked that way. I think the Eagles have been sleeping. The Eagles have been sleeping. They're ready to wake up today and get the win and go to the Super Bowl once again. I'll give it a 24-21 win for the Eagles.
For the Eagles. Now, Zach said something a moment ago. He said if the Eagles don't mess it up like the Ravens did. Well, Zach, if we go back to last week, they damn near messed it up.
They tried.
They tried to mess it up by calling that dumbass pass play that should have never been called. And that's when Hurts got isn't that when he got sacked and hurt?
Yeah. He got. I don't think that's when he got hurt. I don't think, or maybe it was, but yeah, regardless, he got sacked, lost like 8 yards. Yeah.
That was a dumb call, man.
Yeah.
And so it's the coach. That coaching is. We talked about John Harbaugh and his questionable coaching. God damn it, Nick Sirianni is questionable at times with his coaching too.
A lot of times.
A lot of times. A lot of times. So. Zach, you took my thunder. Now you took my thunder. I was ready to lone wolf because I thought everybody was going to go with the Eagles. They saw that dog went with the Cardiac kids last week. Anytime, any place, anywhere. And it goes again today, baby, in the city of brotherly love. Yeah, A.J. Brown, you won the first matchup against Marshawn Lattimore. He was coming back off that injury. But I knew that young man. I knew the type of attitude he had. Oh, you're going to see a different Lattimore today, baby. Saquon Barkley. Last week, I said you wouldn't rush for 250. I was right. I said you wouldn't rush for
86.
I started at 250 and went down to 86. So I was right about the 250, but wrong about everything else. But as for today, I'm calling it right now. God damn it. By the way, if you add up his rushing yards from last week's divisional playoffs, he's the all-time single-season rusher leader in the National Football League. And quietly, nobody's talking about that. The kid should get the record, man. So let me just say this now. Let's get back to it, baby. Who you going with, Dolph? You heard Lawrence. Let me just say again, Lawrence has come on the show today. He's being all professional right now. But pretty soon, He's gonna lose that professionalism. So he's gonna be here with his brothers. But anyway, Lawrence is going with the Eagles. He wants the Commanders for a selfish reason. Him and Jeremy thinking it'll be easy, just like the Detroit Lions and the Philadelphia Eagles today are thinking it's gonna be easy. So with that being said, it is no surprise, family. I'm riding with him until the wheels run off this bus. I'm going with JD, baby. JD 5 and the Kodiak kids. They go into the city of brotherly love. And today, they upset the Eagles and head to New Orleans, baby. JD comes back home to the booth for the Super Bowl, baby. Not as someone watching, baby, but as a participant of the NFC champion Washington Commanders, and not one person, not one national reporter, I'm sure nobody on this show picked the Washington Commanders to be in the NFC championship and yell along in the Super Bowl. But damn it, get ready, because we about to see history today. Let's go, Commanders. And if you're an Eagle fan, you should be happy I'm picking against you, because every time I pick against your ass, you win. So I'm going to go with the Commanders. I'm going with the Commanders with the upset. I can't long wolf it. I thought I could long wolf it, but Zach and now
he was already ready to lone wolf it. That's crazy.
I'll say, man, I'm going to be alone on this one. All right, but so I ain't going to give it a score either, man. I think it's going to be a very exciting game.
I think so too.
But I like Carlos said, if you're the Eagles, you can't afford to have this be a one-score game. And that kid had the ball at the end with an opportunity to win the game. That is scary dangerous, because unlike Matthew Stafford, he can get out that pocket and, like Lawrence said, hurt you with his legs.
Yep.
And he is accurate with the football, passing the ball. Mm-hmm. So I'm going with the Commanders in this one also. Now, go ahead, Lawrence. You want to say something?
To play out, you said if Daniels has the ball at the end, I think the only team that isn't going to win if they have the ball at the end is the Eagles. If Mahomes, Allen, Daniels have the ball at the end, does anybody think they're not going to drive their team down to win the game?
Right.
So the Eagles, I think you're right, is the only team that has to have a more than one score lead at the end of the game. The other ones, I would have confidence in doing that.
Dane Daniels had how many Hail Marys? He turned into Aaron Rodgers of 2025. Right? I mean, like Hail Marys, tip balls. I think it was 2 of them. Coach Rock, what's your thoughts, man?
Oh man, I love 5. I told Dolph he would be my rookie of the year this year, which he has. He's everything I thought he would be. But I just think Philadelphia front four gonna be a little too much for him to deal with today. And I think Zach Brown is gonna ball out in this game. And I'm hoping I'm wrong about this, but I'm going with this here by 17. I got the Eagles by 17.
I like the green.
Killer Greens. That wasn't Killer Greens.
Say, man. Now you roll with this kid all season long.
I think it's gonna be too much. I'm hoping I'm wrong, but I just think
you. No, I ain't letting you do this. You done roll with this kid through thunderstorms, natural disasters.
That front four gonna be too much this time, bro. That front four gonna bring it.
He beat him one time already.
Well, that's like his name says. The game has changed. It's a different game today. So Coach already got it in his title there.
It's a different game today, bro.
Next week or the week, whenever we do the Super Bowl show, I want Lawrence and Coach ass right now next to each other. when the Commanders are in the damn Super Bowl, and I'm gonna remember this. I'm gonna remember this. He turned his back on JD5. He turned his back on him.
No, my back ain't turned on him. I'm just looking at what's coming, bro.
You're right.
I'm just looking at what's coming, baby.
You ride through the good and the bad, baby. You got to go through the storms, baby. You got to go through the storms, and he refused to roll with you, JD. I told you, JD, you can't trust him. You on that damn oatmeal. Trust him, bro. All right, here we go.
Here's the fun thing about this game, though, is you look at the 4 quarterbacks. Allen, Hurts, Mahomes and Daniels, right? Allen Hurts and Mahomes, no surprise they're here. Daniels, look at us all talking about this. He's an X factor today. That man is playing with house money. He's got nothing to lose. He can go in there and play loose, do his thing with no pressure on him, because at this point, no one expected this. So he's going in there. He can just do his thing. Everybody else, every other quarterback in this, there is that pressure that's out there from the media. There's that pressure out there from the fans that you are expected to win today. You are expected to move on, right? Daniels, whatever happens, win or lose today, he is beloved in Washington right now. That man can do no wrong. So for him, he can just go out there and just play his game with no big deal. And if they win, awesome. If they lose, no one's going to be mad at him. Everybody else, every other fan base, God help the Eagles if they lose. The Bills, they lose, we're going to be – I don't want to talk about that. Chiefs, they lose, like everyone's going to yell at Mahomes, right? Like Daniels has nothing to lose in this game. I love it because he can just go out there and be himself and play with house money, and it's going to be a hell of a game no matter what happens. But the Eagles just need to not screw it up. I mean, that's what it comes down to. But they probably will.
All right, there we go. Now we go to the game that Lawrence and Jeremy been waiting for. It's the one Jeremy, Lawrence and Coach been waiting for. I'm about to
Help is on the way, baby. Help is on the way.
Coach, I'm gonna let you start, Coach. I'm gonna sit back and I'm about to enjoy the show, baby.
Ooh,
Let's
it's a
go.
show too. So man, look,
Go.
I replayed this game over and over in my mind.
Uh-oh.
And I said this was going to be a back and forth game. And I got this game coming down at the fourth quarter. Buffalo takes the lead by 2. Patrick gets the ball with the last drive. He drives the ball down the field. 4th and 12. Kansas City needs 15 yards to get within field goal range to kick the field goal, right? 4th and 12, Kansas City goes for it. Incomplete pass. Buffalo thinks they win the game. But guess what? Not so fast, my friends, because here's that help. The help is on the way.
Uh-oh,
The
yeah.
help, the
Where
help
that?
is on the
What
way.
the yeah, what the hell,
The
man?
help is on
My
the
gosh,
way.
come on, Coach.
The help is on the way, baby. It's here. It's here, baby. The help is on the way.
Yeah.
We got 15-yard personal foul since Lawrence knew on Lawrence for unsportsmanlike talking about the mafia. The city gets in field goal range and kick the field goal to win the game by 1 point, and they get on the plane, headed to New Orleans, and guess what? Guess what happened?
What happens?
Guess what happened? They get on the plane, baby, and they come to New Orleans. And they wear their black Kansas City jerseys. They win by 1 point today, baby, on the last second field goal with help on the way. Yes,
Coach,
sir.
I gotta tell you, the whole attire and everything, man, you are selling this. I'm loving this. I'm eating this up right now. I ain't gonna
That
lie.
was the most disrespectful thing I've ever
You know
seen.
what I'm saying? Right here, baby. the
I
help
ain't
is
never
on the
heard
way.
nothing disrespectful like that
The
before.
help
Before.
is
I got
on
no
the way.
words for this.
This
I got no
video,
words.
this video
Hey,
is
look
being
at Lawrence
posted
face.
30
Look at
seconds
Lawrence
after
face
this
like,
game.
oh,
I called him doing that at the beginning of the show when he said he had something special. I said he had a ref jersey.
Got something special
I
with that.
called that one.
Help is on the way, baby.
Oh man.
Oh, goodness
Wow.
gracious.
And for those of you who don't know, Coach actually is a licensed
I am a high
referee in the
school
state of
license.
Louisiana.
Yes, sir.
And
The
the
help is
coaches,
on the way,
and
baby.
the coaches in this district, they don't like them either. So I'm just like,
Hey, if y'all
Coach, this
if
is
y'all
why
see
you
Coach
watch
near the game,
Sports
you know
Network.
what's going on. You see
Best
Coach near the game, you already know what's
The
going
help is
on.
on the way today, baby.
Andrew the
Wow.
coach say the Bills are not beating the Chiefs. All right. Christian says Bills by 3 for me, baby. I don't know what the. Let's
There we
see
go,
who else
Christian.
We got. Christian is on your side today. I think it was Samuel called it too. Oh well, Samuel said Eagle versus Chiefs in Super Bowl, so Samuel's not going that way either. All right, so I'm gonna start. Lawrence is your flow. Then we go, of course, to Jeremy.
So obviously, I'm a Bills fan. I'm a huge I've been to 20 of the 32 stadiums to watch the Bills play teams. My goal is to watch them play in every stadium. I had season tickets growing up. I've been to about 150 Bills games in my life. But I'm also a very realistic Bills fan. As much as I want the Bills to win, I talked about earlier about being able to envision a way. I cannot physically picture the Bills winning this game. I can't picture them in a Super Bowl. I don't know if it's just my scar tissue protecting me. So I'm a kind of a pessimistic Bills fan. So I'm protected. Like I expect the bad. Then when it's good, like, yes, we won. It's Patrick Mahomes. It's the playoffs and it's in Kansas City. And they just always do stuff that he didn't run the ball last time the Bills played. In the playoffs, Mahomes run. Is Benford going to play today? We're already missing Taylor Rapp. And Andy Reid is going to attack that weakness, right? So I already called him the best coach in history, and I think Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in history. Josh Allen is just unfortunately the Karl Malone to Patrick Ewing. He's just around at the wrong time. Any other era, he'd be already in a Super Bowl. He just has the unfortunate pleasure of playing against Patrick Mahomes for the fourth time in the playoffs. So as much as it hurts me to say, I do not think the Bills win this game. I do think they lose on a last-second Patrick Mahomes drive.
Okay. Jeremy.
Wow. Look, I love Lawrence. I love his dedication. I got to go Bills, right? And yes, I'm a realistic Bills fan. I've seen the good days, the bad days, all the days. God, Coach, I keep coming back. I keep looking at you on the screen. I'm like, man, that was legit, by the way. I love it. Here's the thing. Yeah, Chiefs are good. Patrick Mahomes is good. I'll give credit where credit due. Andy Reid's a hell of a coach. I mean, I was at the game last year when we lost it at home, right? And that still stings. And there's one thing with Josh Allen, and you can never underestimate an underdog, right? Like that is a man who nobody ever wanted, who had to fight for everything he ever got. There's a chip on his shoulder that we all can't even begin to imagine what it is. And he knows how much he means to the city, how much he means to the team, how much he means to himself, right? To prove himself and prove everybody that doubted him wrong. And I don't think you can measure that. And I think it's one of those things he knows he needs to do this. I think this is one of the more complete Bills teams I've seen. There's not a person that I look at that is like, that is the one standout person, that is our one standout receiver. Like I talked about last week, Carlos, I think you brought up, Allen had 120 yards passing, no touchdowns, and they win the game against the Ravens, right? The MVP favorite, Lamar Jackson, he passes to 8 different receivers. Josh Allen's playing a level we haven't seen, right? So I don't think this is our traditional Bills-Chiefs matchup we all expect. And don't forget, and I know I hate to say this because it never works out the way I want, we beat them in the regular season. We stopped the Chiefs, and the Broncos beat the Chiefs, but if the Bills lost to the Chiefs play their starters, try to go undefeated, right? Bills stop that. So obviously Chiefs are going to be motivated, but we've done it. We can do it again. I see the Bills win this. It is going to be a tight game. It is going to be a nail-biter. I'm going to lose more hair, and I don't have much more hair left to lose. But I do think Josh Allen's going to get him over the hump this time. We're going to the Super Bowl, and there's going to be a hell of a party in Buffalo for it. Unless coach shows up on the field and starts throwing flags, which is also entirely possible. Just saying.
Nah. It's so terrible. Coach, you are disrespectful as hell. Disrespectful. But I would like to say this. I would like to say this. Thank you for finally saying that the refs do interfere with their games. That's all I got to say. But anyways, I've been saying it the whole season, but I'm the hater, which is cool. It's cool.
No, that's because Dolph calls you the hater, not.
It's cool, but at least y'all admit that it is real. It's real.
Even I had to admit it after last week.
But I say, I kind of see where Coach was going with his premonition. But on that 4th and 12, I think they throw an interception, to be honest with you. The game is over for the Bills. Bills win. That's what I'm calling. I ain't saying nothing else. Bills win.
That's why I love non.
All right. Zach.
You know what, man? I see Drac in here saying, man, why y'all Bills fans bringing the vibes down? Believe. Don't stop believing. It's a damn song right now. Don't stop believing. I didn't even read that right.
Believing. Oh,
there you go.
Keep going, man. Yeah, acapella on that thing. But I'm gonna go ahead and say this. Oh, you got the hat says believe. That's actually fire. That's fire. I'm gonna go ahead and say it right now. I don't think the game's close. I don't think the game's close. I think they win by 2 scores. I think the Bills go in and handle business today. I don't know why. That's just the feeling that I have. I know the flag. I got my flags in here too, Coach. I got you, brother. I got you. Look, here's the thing.
Get a flagrant on Coach. Only
This-
15.
yeah, right.
Somebody find this man. Find this man.
$20,000. This is a Bills team that I think is more together and more connected as a team, not as an organization and a fan base, but as a team than what it has been throughout this whole Josh Allen era so far. I feel like this is a different mindset Bills team. I think the way they play for each other, and we've said this, and every time we talked about them, I've said this, the way they play for each other, how they ride on each other's shoulders, and how they go out there and just ball out, I think is what makes the big difference here. And as much as the Chiefs go ahead and get things done in big games and in big moments, as I said, Travis Kelce has got his best game of the season, and he's been quiet really all year. He goes out and has a phenomenal game in the divisional round. I know they do these things, but I just think it's going to be different this year. Like, maybe it's me being too optimistic. I'm trying to balance out the world with Lawrence with his pessimism over there. I'm rocking with the Bills to win by 10.
All right, Carlos.
Yo, is it me or ever since Tyreek Hill signed the Dolphins, we've been mad? I lied. Y'all been mad disrespectful to the Chiefs, man, for the last 3 years now. Every time we get in this situation, the conference championship,
Somebody mute this man.
I'm sorry. We talk about the opposite team. Lamar Jackson and him that Ravens team. Josh Allen, this brand of offense. They're gonna come. Yo, all the Chiefs do is just keep on winning. I hate to be that guy with you guys, but all I've seen so far since Tyreek Hill's gone to the Dolphins is that the Chiefs have been winning Super Bowls. That is it. They don't care how. They don't care when. They don't care where. Play that music because I know I'm out of it. I don't even care. But it has been like that for the last 3+ years now. I'm letting you guys know all this feel-good story could be all I want it. I want to see Buffalo win too. I do. I want to see Jaden Daniels in there as well. I want the feel-good story. This is reality. Sometimes you don't get the good ending. You don't get the happy ending. So we're probably going to be stuck with Eagles versus Chiefs again, right? And that's just the reality of how it all works. Pat Mahomes is the greatest quarterback of all time. I don't give a damn about a Tom Brady. I think Pat Mahomes is the great. And if he wins another one, 3-peat, he will solidify himself as the greatest quarterback of all time. Now, I love the good story. I want to see Josh Allen there. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen because the fact is that team right there, they don't do anything great anymore, but they do everything well. Everything. And that's just not all. We're talking defense. That defense also has been the most disrespected defense over the last 3 years. Chris Jones, Trent McDuffie, I mean, those guys have been balling out forever now the last couple of years. And look, they've only given up, and it was to the Buffalo Bills, I give you that. 30-plus points only one time in the last 2.5 years. That was to the Bills. That's regular season. We've seen that plenty of times. What, 4-1 in the regular season? Yeah, 0-3 in the playoffs where it really, really counts. And you're at Kansas City. If you want to win, Buffalo should have done it last year. That was your best chance. I think it's going to be a close game because it's the Chiefs. They already play close games. It will be close. But at the end, when it's all said and done, Pat Mahomes. What's that little... over?
That's why
yeah,
it's close.
Pat Mahomes over. Josh Allen, y'all. Give me the Chiefs to win this one. I'm going Chiefs to win 23-20.
Carlos, why gotta ruin my Sunday already? It's too early.
Because I like to ruin
But
shit.
Carlos said the Chiefs don't do anything great. They do situational great. That's the one thing that they do great. And that's probably the most important thing in the playoffs. They do that
But
great.
they're not the dominant Chiefs we are used to seeing. This is look.
They were there
Granted,
last
they
year, though, Jeremy. They were a worse team last year.
They were, but this is a
They
team
were a
that
worse
beat
team
by
last
so
year.
many games this year.
They
Their
were
defense
a
is
worse
legit. I'll
team
give you that.
last year.
Well, it's y'all done heard. It's time for your boy Dolph to give his. But first, let me just say this:
dragged out.
In the 2020.
Be dragged out.
Sir, kind sir. I did not interrupt you, kind sir.
I'm sorry. My bad. You're right.
And on our debut show of the 2024 NFL Draft, the Buffalo Bills were on the clock. And we had a trade go down.
Yeah.
And we all were sitting there shocked and astonished because of who the Bills made the trade with. It wasn't a team in the NFC. It wasn't a lowly team in the AFC. No. It was just a team that had just ripped the hearts out of everybody in upstate New York. The hated Kansas City Chiefs. They trade with the Chiefs and allow the Chiefs to get the fastest man ever recorded at the NFL Combine, Xavier Worthy. I'm here to tell your family today, I'm hoping that does not come back to bite the Bills in the ass.
That would suck.
How pretty would it be?
I forgot all
And
about
how
that too.
Chief-like would it be for at the end of the game to win the game? For home drops back, he scrambles to the right, goes back to the left. Oh, he throws it to the back of the end zone. Xavier Worthy with the ceiling touchdown. Chiefs go to the Super Bowl, and every member of the goddamn Bills Mafia is saying, "The son of a, you know what did it to us again?" But how the hell we give them Xavier Worthy? The GM should have been fired. Ownership should have been changed because you never should have done it. With that being said, until you beat the man, you cannot be the man. But I don't know what the hell wrong with me today. Doc Kevin, I'm circling the wagons today, baby. I'm rolling with Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills, baby. And they will go in the Arrowhead, and all that shit they stole from Florida State will not be going on today. It will be the Bills, baby. That's right, Lars. Pick it up, man. I'm gonna pick up your emotions, baby. I got your back for you, baby. The Bills over the Chiefs, 27. Oh, y'all ready for 19? That's my score. Bills 27-19, baby. Set, baby.
Interesting.
Love it. Buffalo love it, y'all. There we go.
Buffalo love it.
Great for Carlos.
Now, the only thing is, I picked against the Eagles and they always win. So,
Hey, look, the cooler Super Bowl, in my opinion, would be Washington versus Buffalo.
Of course.
I would love that. Washington
history regardless, either way.
Yeah, history
either way.
regardless, right? I'm hoping for that, right? I'm hoping for that. Either Ricky wins or the Bills franchises first. That'd be awesome. So I want that. We just don't get what we want all the time, man. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, realistically, I really think it will be Bills. I think it'll be Bills Philadelphia. I think I'm rooting for the Commanders. I'm confident with the Bills winning this game, man. I really do like what they're doing right now.
You confident in the Bills winning this game?
I'm confident.
I remember our
Bills
show during the
Bills,
draft when they traded Xavier Worthy. I was in Oklahoma City in the hotel room doing that with you guys. I remember that. I hate that.
I'm pretty sure though. I'm pretty sure during that show we said something along the lines of they ain't gonna regret it right away, but come the playoffs, Xavier Worthy's gonna do something crazy and it's gonna ruin Bill's dream. We literally said that on there, man. I hope we weren't telling the truth. And if we were, we're gonna have to go find that VOD and get a clip from it if it does happen.
That's why Bean has his nickname BBB. He found the best trade. He didn't care who it was with to get the best for the Bills. And he's afraid of them. That's why he is BBB. I'm not going to say it on the air.
Maybe Keon Coleman goes off today, and then we see Keon. Then it goes the other way.
Exactly, it could go the other way.
Like,
I hear you. It sounds good.
He's a small little man. He's a small little man who can get jacked up and thrown off the line. That's what happened to Xavier Worthy right there.
Gotcha. Well, family,
bump and run.
It's time for one of the most exciting moments and segments on all social media. Y'all know what it's time for. It's time for our championship straight ballers. Let's get it. Here we go. It's time for straight balling, the championship edition. I ain't gonna go first. I'm gonna go last because I just like to go last because I like to hear just how my brothers are thinking. So right now, I'm gonna start off with my brother Nine. Nine, I'm gonna start with you, Nine. Who you got for your straight balling today? Matter of fact, family, since it's a special occasion, it's the championship. We gonna pick one from each game. Let's go, baby.
I love how you changed up last minute. All right. Matter of fact, with both, I'm going quarterback. So with Washington, I'm going Jaden Daniels.
Okay.
And with the game afterwards, I'm going with Josh Allen. Those are my two ballers. I know they're gonna have great games, and I expect them to play extraordinarily. So I'm going with those two players.
Jeremy.
I mean, I don't want to pick the same as John, but look, I got to pick Allen because we're going to win, lose, die by Josh Allen today. The Commanders-Eagles game, I'm gonna go with a little outlier. I'm going to go with Austin Eckler. I told you, that secondary for the Eagles, I think they're going to have a tough time moving that ball down the field, but I think Eckler's going to be in a lot today. He's going to get a lot of play. He's going to go off on a receiving binge. I think he's going to have 7 receptions, 95 yards.
Okay.
I like that.
All right, Coach, who you rolling with, baby?
The Philadelphia game, I'm going with none other than 53 for the Philadelphia Eagles. I think he's going to keep Daniels upright where he's not going to be able to run outside that pocket. And in the Kansas City game, I'm going with he been hurt. He hasn't done a whole lot, but the jersey I'm wearing, Pacheco, baby. I'm going with Pacheco to come in and give us a big game running the ball today.
Going with Pacheco.
Very
Lawrence,
interesting.
who's your straight baller today?
For the Eagles, they're going to go off the block a little bit. If they're going to win, it's going to be a Zach Bond game. Great acquisition from them from the offseason. He's going to have to manage Jaden Daniels in that running game. So for me, if the Eagles are going to win, it's going to have to be Zach Bond managing that. For the Bills, I'm going to go outside Josh Allen because that's just the obvious. He has to do well. Greg Rousseau has to have himself a big game today.
All right.
He has a pretty favorable matchup with whichever tackle he goes up against. He's had some success against the Chiefs before, and he has to have a big game today. The Buffalo's going to pull it out in KC.
Like Groot.
Zach.
All right, man. You already know. Let's see. Philadelphia versus the Commanders. I'm going with what I think is one of the most underappreciated wide receivers in the NFL. Shoot, I even underappreciate him. Scary Terry McLaurin had a great game last weekend. I think he's going to go ahead and have another straight balling game this week versus the Philadelphia Eagles. And then Bills and Chiefs. I mean, everybody wants to go Josh Allen. You know what? I'm gonna throw something crazy. And I don't even believe it. But you know what? Amari Cooper sat out last week, and we've been waiting for a difference maker. And I would love to see Amari Cooper come out here and straight ball. And I'm not saying nothing crazy. Not 150, 120 yards. He's going to get him a touchdown. He's going to get him about 70 yards. He's going to be a difference maker in this game.
I like it.
Let's go.
All right. Carlos.
I'm going with a positional group, right? It's for all 4 teams. And I think they'll be the difference makers in these championship games. Give me the tight end group. I'm going all 4 tight ends. Kincaid from the Bills. I'm going with Ertz from the Commanders. I'm going with Kelsey from the Chiefs, and I'm going with Goddard from the Eagles. I think those 4 players
Yeah.
huge impact. I'm gonna say a total of 25 catches, about 200 yards, and I'm gonna say a combined 5 touchdowns from that group over today's games.
I
That
can see that.
tight end group
I can see that.
is gonna be my straight
Yeah.
balling players
Hold it.
of the week.
All right. God damn it, Carlos kind of stole my thunder. So where I'm going for my first straight ball of the day, baby. I'm going to Arrowhead. Carlos said his name. Coach, he was a draft crush for me and Coach. We wanted him so bad in the Big Easy, but like always, we don't get what we want to deserve. With that being said, baby, it came down. Dog, who's going to be the difference maker? Who's going to help Josh Allen get it done today? Oh, we know how great Travis Kelce is. Oh, but there's another button one on the other side, baby. His name is Dalton Kincaid. Dalton Kincaid will be my straight baller for the day. He's not getting, like Carlos say, he's not getting 1 tutty today, baby. Dalton Kincaid gonna get 2 tutties today, including the game damn winner, baby. That is right. Coach, you don't like it with that illegal flag up there, dog. I would get Kincaid as my straight baller of the day. Now, let's go to the first day. NFC Championship. Commanders, Cardiac Kids, Eagles, the bullies on the block. They're bullying the entire NFC. They just bullied the Rams' offensive line, what Jalen Cole did at the end. So who's my straight baller of the day for this game? It would be easy for me to sit up here and just say JD5, Jaden Daniels. But I ain't going Jaden Daniels. I'm going a whole different scenario. The Commanders are going to stack the box. They're going to force Jalen Hurts to throw that ball. And my dog, the greatest cornerback in the history of his former team and my team, the New Orleans Saints. Today's straight baller for me is no other than Laddie Daddy himself. Or Sean Lattimore, baby, will be straight balling today against the Eagles, and he will break their heart with a game-clinching intercept to send the Commanders to the Super Bowl. And damn it, Laddie coming home, baby, to the dog and get it, baby. Let's go. And that is my straight ballers of the day, baby. Let's go get it, baby. Coach don't like it, but it's all right, you traitor. You turned his back on JD5. You turned his back on JD5, baby. You can't do it. Don't throw your back. What's up, Ryan? Ryan said,
Say, bro. Hey, man. Hey, dog. I'm listening to Taylor Swift right now. Where you at, bro? In a blank space.
That's all
You
right.
in a blank space
That's
right
all
now,
right.
bro.
That's why you gonna be at after this game. You gonna be in the
I'm listening to Taylor right now, baby.
Yeah.
Show you incredible things. So kiss this pretty life. You're the king, baby. I'm
You in a
your
blank space right now, baby.
Yeah, it's all right. Learn like what the hell I got myself into.
I love the energy Coach brings. Even though he's a Chiefs fan, he's already one of my favorite. Way to go, Coach. Taylor in there, we good.
Oh yeah. Ryan say, what a monologue. Hey, your boy though, man. But listen, family, we want to thank each and every single one of you for joining us today. And just to remind you, family, we ain't done. We will be back, right? If you want me and Coach going at it, you got to tune in today. Turn down the sound on your TV and come on in, as we will be calling the Bills at the Chiefs today. The NFC Championship game at 5:30. That's right, myself, 9. I ain't gonna say Jeremy, because we know he gonna be biting his fingernails off him and Learns. They gonna be nervous as hell all day. We won't see them. And I'm gonna tell you this, we might not see the ads for the Super Bowl show either if the Bills don't win today. It might be next season. So
I may
want
pull
you to
I may
take-
pull an Aaron Rodgers and go hide in a cave for like 4 months or something.
So what I need y'all to do, I need y'all to take a good look at Lawrence and Jeremy to remember their faces, just in case the Bills don't pull this thing out today, man. But on a serious note, man, Lawrence, on a serious note, my brother, welcome to the family, brother. We
Yes,
appreciate
sir.
what you're bringing, man. And
Yes.
we know this is going to be a great relationship, man. And hey, you're part of the brotherhood now, man. And I don't just say that. When I say we family, that's exactly how we rock, man. So welcome to the family, my brother.
I appreciate the warm welcome, everybody. It's great seeing everybody, talking with everybody. Go Bills.
Go
Yes, sir.
Bills.
Let's
Go
get
Bills. Hey, coach, go
it.
Look at
Oh man.
who? Who
You know
go?
what time-
Coach.
You know what time
About
of day
5
that
minutes
is,
before
baby.
we said we just watching all the people.
You know what time of day that is. But I'm gonna just leave it at this and see y'all in New Orleans, bro.
Uh-oh. How you gonna leave it, coach? Don't give me no copyright.
See y'all in New Orleans, baby.
I got the new coach, Dad. I got the new coach, Dad.
Yeah, we got
I got a new coach, Dad. He about to give me copyright.
Coach don't understand. We can't just keep playing like that.
He about to copyright.
I definitely think we're gonna have to go back and mute that Taylor Swift.
Channel go.
Yeah, take that shit out anyway. I don't want to hear that. Take that.
We're gonna probably have to.
Yeah, take that shit out anyway. Please do. All right, man. Look, we're gonna see everybody at 5:30 Central for Bills Chiefs.
Get ready,
then,
baby.
Everybody, take care, and we'll see you later. And remember, the doors are always open. So come on in.
The Coma is Sports Network.